The Order is an action-adventure game. I mean, it's one man's journey to find out who he really is. Galahad is kind of the anchor. Through him, basically, you find out not only about the IP, but his journey basically defines who he's going to be at the end of the game. Yes, it's a very big leap because we worked on characters that, that were so defined that it's hard to change them. We wanted the canvas to be the Galahad, and for everything around him, the characters around him, the events around him, the world around him, to be the paint that paints that canvas that Galahad is.
The story to me is just really wonderful. It's super exciting. I think people are going to be surprised by just how engaging this game is going to be, in terms of investing in the characters. Like I said, it's just a part. Not saying that the story makes or breaks a game, but if it's good, it really helps immerse the players. Particularly, I mean, this game is, it's a story-driven, single-player, third-person action game. If we don't keep the player really engaged and wanting to see what happens, we failed.
The game itself is a mix of all these moments that basically take you on a ride between adventure, suspense, and horror that builds a little bit of a new taste, in what a game could be. 1886 happens, of course, in 1886 after the Industrial Revolution. Humanity has been fighting this war that's been going on for more than a millennia against half-breeds, and that is kind of where the Round Table comes into play. They come into play because they want to find a way to stop this war. There is a lot of backstory. The reason why actually there is a lot of backstory is because we need to make sense of it. We don't necessarily have to tell people a lot about it, but what they need to know is that we are trying to make sure that logically this is right.
I love this setting. I love this alternate history and the way in which the technology is plausible enough that you almost think, did they have that in the 1800s? I guess not, but they could have had it.
So is the year 1886 and that setting in London, is that central to the IP, do you think?
The year itself, yes, because what is happening actually in 1886 is kind of a sequence of events that gives humanity the advantage in that war, and that advantage is the Industrial Revolution. In our world, the Industrial Revolution comes as a reaction to the war. They've harnessed a lot of the power that they've gotten from this technology, and now they've taken the advantage over the half-breeds.
So the odds of seeing the Order 1986 is right out?
I wouldn't say no. Okay. I would say no, because the thing is that there is a very common thread to every single story that I've written thus far and every idea that have gone into the IP, and it's not set in a very specific timeline. It's the struggle that's more important than the year. So the struggle is something that always will exist because just like in our real world, struggles never end. They just change.
Sometimes we lose track of the stuff that we're doing because we look at it so much. And it's always wonderful when we get somebody else to take a look and they go, wow.
People didn't believe that your trailer was in-game.
Yeah, no, it was totally in-game. Yeah, it was completely in-game, all in engine. We have, they're all game assets. That's the real stuff. In fact, it's relatively early stuff. Our goal is to exceed that visual quality in the game. I think once people get to experience this level of just immersion and richness and the amount of dynamics and simulation that is going to really elevate the gameplay, or at least immersion, I think people are really going to never be able to go back to previous generation. Because whenever there is a jump in generation, people go, I mean, these games are great already, it's not going to be that much of a difference. I think it's going to be a huge difference. Just give it a little time.
I mean, the best case scenario is for somebody to not put the controller down. What we've done in the game is that we've actually built this moment-to-moment thing that happens, that takes you on a ride, that we try to change on you. We try to basically give you a different ride. I just want people to basically get immersed like they get immersed when they watch a movie. The reality of it is that when you watch a movie, you're emotionally involved. And in games, there are only a few games that have been able to really pull that out of people. What we want is that out of people, is that they do start caring. They do start caring because some of those characters kind of reflect them, the way they are, and they're going to find similarities between all those people. I think that's what we want ultimately. It's connection. We want people to just connect, not put it down, and just play through and just go on just get entertained and go on a ride, basically.